says regime, he even implies regime change as a U.S. policy as it is. Wait, Putin is the government. He is the regime. I mean, this isn't like there's some vice president waiting to take over and everything's going to be happy and all great. And there are thousands of nukes in the balance. Well, and that's why he was reading a scripted statement in Poland. And that, to me, is why, Buck, it is so staggeringly incompetent that he would go off script. Remember, the sales pitch on Biden is, this is a guy, the adults are going to be back in the room. They're going to be able to handle significant geopolitical issues. And whatever you want to say about Biden, he seems to hang his hat on his foreign policy experience, even though he's wrong oftentimes, almost all of them, as one of Obama's own advisors pointed out. But to just blurt out at the end of a speech something that significant, those 9 words that completely destroy your previous 27 minutes, and then try to pretend, I mean, he spent now multiple days trying to explain what he meant by those comments. It really undercuts any argument at all that he's more stable than Trump would have been. And certainly, again, we've been making the argument on this program, and I think it's the number one question to be asking. And here in a little bit, we'll talk about this Harvard-Harris poll result, which I think the American public is starting to feel the same way. It's the question that nobody can answer if they are a big-time Democrat supporter. If Donald Trump was such an asset of the Russians, why was Vladimir Putin afraid to invade Ukraine for 4 years, yet as soon as Biden gets in office, he makes his move? The answer is because he feared what Trump might do. He doesn't fear Biden.
There are some things that have happened in the last year that are just too obvious and important and powerful as really learning moments, I think, for the country, that the apparatus around Biden that tries to hold up the regime and tell us all how great it is, it's just beyond their power. I mean, what you just said, Clay, they can, until they're blue in the face, they can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, it didn't happen for 4 years of Trump. It didn't even come close to happen. That's right, under 4 years of Trump. I mean, Vladimir Putin, there was no big build-up. There was no head fake of he was going to, invade in the way that he has here. And the same thing you can even say about COVID. I mean, at the end of the day, more people died in Biden's first year. The second year of a pandemic, when you have better therapeutics, you had a vaccine program, more people died under Biden than died under Trump. For all their talk about how if only Joe Biden were president, I had to deal with this. I remember right before the pandemic lockdown, I did the Bill Maher show, and the whole thing was, we're all going to die because it's Trump's fault. And I couldn't even, how am I going to argue? First of all, at that point, not a single person had yet died in the U.S. from COVID. But how do I make the argument? Because they believed it. It didn't matter that there was no reality behind it. Well, what about that argument that Biden's going to save us from the virus? Biden's going to bring back the world on the world stage. We have a massive invasion of by Russia of Ukraine, and we have more people dead from COVID in Biden's first year than in Trump's last year, which should be it shouldn't even be close, right? I mean, Biden should have had 50% or 30%.